Alliances turn to ban.
Back to what's turning out to be an incredibly exciting series between Ninjas in Pajamas and Alliance. We're ready to get ourselves into game 2. The draft is well underway, so I don't want to waste any more of your time, and let's get yourselves into it so you can see what's happened so far. And well, Lumi,
it's Alliance.
NIP,
it's Alliance.
It works so well against them. I mean, they want to take it themselves. They did, of course, have first pick this time, which they pick up the IO for. But interesting enough, worth noticing that Alliance, they ban out the Tiny.
Yep.
And then so NIP, they still go ahead and pick up the IO, and then Alliance, they pick up the Bristleback themselves. So Alliance, they've been able to take away 2 strong cores that would have patched up nicely with the Iron. They also ban out the Gyrocopter. So I'm going to be really interested to see what NIP decide to run with the lineup of Iron main.
I mean, from the last game we saw, it wasn't the Tiny, for example,
no.
That would have been big. It was the mana regen for Storm, that was huge. It was the movement speed for the Lifestealer. It was the overcharge for the rest of the team. So I think Wisp alone is a powerful enough hero given the right situation. Let's see if NIP could get those situations. But again, Wisp, Bane, these are heroes that don't farm well. Seal Kid, Handskin, hopefully they could get a better game, because last time they got hurt real bad.
Yeah, we've seen a few games where the NIP supports have just been a little bit poor, but maybe with the Iron and the Bane they can look for the pickoffs like Alliance did in game 1 and keep themselves up there in terms of gold. And the bans following through, we're seeing NIP take out, of course, your Co-op and your Nature's Prophet, following it up with heroes like the Brood and the Disrupt, other heroes that we have seen Alliance pick up in the past. And Alliance, they take away the Viper. You know, we're seeing NIP run that one in this tournament, and well, the question is, what do Alliance pick up now to go with the Bristle and the Lesh? I mean, so far you'd imagine it to be the Pycat, Leshrac, and the loaded Bristleback, but they've got the flexibility to move it around. I mean, we could see Bulldog picking up a solo lane Bristleback. They could rotate Lesh into the safe lane or even into a support position. They've got a lot of potential to switch this one around if they need to.
Yeah, I think this is where they fill out the enemy team a little bit. Witch Doctor is a pretty non-committal support. He gives you pretty much a little bit of everything. If you want to run him as a push strat, well, that's where the heal comes in. He's pretty good against aggression with the cast. One thing he's really poor at is initiation. He's not your Rubik that blinks in with a single target disable. So that cast is not very reliable. We'll see where Alliance goes with this draft. NIP immediately goes into a Shadow Fiend though, so looks like we're most likely going to get a Lesh versus SF matchup, which we've been seeing quite a bit of.
We have indeed, and it does, well, we've seen Lesh just pretty much dominate the lane in a lot of games. Obviously, last game, even though Limp's Lesh dominated against, of course, Pycat on the Storm in the early game, he was still able to come back. So with a hero like Shadow Fiend, there's always that potential to back up into the jungle. There's always ways to find the farm once you get a few points in the raises anyway. So we'll see how Limp's able to match up this game. And well, 4th pick now for Alliance. Obviously with the Witch Doctor pick so far, fairly nice against any kind of composition that involves an IO in terms of the cast, making it very hard to go for those kind of duo ganks. And well, Alliance, let's see what they look towards now. I mean, kind of thinking back to the playstyle and the way we've seen Alliance play, who do you reckon Mad's kind of considering for their last 2 picks?
Well, Bane's out of the question.
Yes, he's going to be sad about that one.
Although I think he might be playing the Witch Doctor here. I think Chen is definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Given the fact that both Wisp and Bane are pretty poor tower defenders. So early on, if you run a big push strat with like Witch Doctor, Chen, and possibly a Dragon Knight.
I think that, I think that Chen could be a good call.
This could be a very powerful push. In fact, Alliance have ran DK in the safe lane in the past for Loda, so that's definitely a choice. See what they actually think. They're going to go back to the Clockwork, which, I mean, Bane, this time around, he's actually deceptively tanking. He has very high base armor early. It looks like NIP's going to go into...
Hang on, is this a lie? I mean,
this is exactly Alliance's draft.
It really is, and well, NIP will see what they're able to do with the Slardar. I mean, Alliance, we know that they like to play a lot of it themselves, so they'll kind of know what to expect, and we'll see if they're able to play against it. But yeah, the Slardar, I do like seeing the Slardar, because that means we're going to see a lot of fighting between these two sides once we get the mid-game.
That's definitely true, and picking Slaughter on the Dire side will give you the Roshan advantage. My big concern is that this is, in my opinion, not a good game for Slaughter. You pick Slaughter, a melee core just into the Clockwork that was picked up. You're going to be sprinting around eating things like Death Ward as well as Pulse Nova, and the Cool Sprays are going to stack up against you as well. So I don't know. I don't know if this Slaughter is going to have a good game.
Well, we'll see. And again, that ban, which we pretty much see every game against NIP. If they still need Jonathan fans here, the other side says, well, we're not going to let him get the axe. And rightfully so here. Would have been a very nice final pickup for the side, you know, with the extra physical damage. And, well, you talked about the potential of Chen. They're going to opt for the Enigma instead this game.
Chen got taken out by NIP in the last ban. So it seems like, okay, so this is what Alliance expects of NIP, right?
Yes.
Alliance is gonna say, MIP, you're gonna double stack your jungle for your Shadow Fiend, for your Wisp. You're gonna raise it, you're gonna farm it. You're not gonna have too much aggression early on with Wisp and Bane. Let's take advantage of that by being greedy ourselves. Enigma is the fastest farmer in the jungle, so essentially Alliance is gonna farm 4 lanes, 4 cores. And NIP is very much so mid-game centric with their Shadow Fiend and Slaughter lineup. So I think Alliance is looking to outgreed them and outlate them. And so far, it's looking like it's a great game plan.
And now, final pick for the side of NIP. And, well, what are the options here looking like for what we'd imagine to be Jonathan fans here of this game? And
well, Burden United paired their Slardar with a Centaur, which gave them the double Blink Dagger initiation. The weakness of that particular draft was that before the Blink Dagger initiation, they were pretty soft in terms of having a way to initiate. So there is that. I mean, if this was Burden United, Mirana would be a decent kind of dual offlane with Bane, but I'm not sure.
I mean, what about something like the Jonathan Fan Legion? You know, good against the Bristle, forcing you to face him.
There's a lot of ways to really punish him.
Just mess up the duel, yeah.
Not just mess up. I mean, he's initiating for you when you just Death Ward him, Post Nova him.
That's true.
The mini stun from the battery stall is going to be annoying.
I mean, what about the puck?
What about the puck? I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's a laning stage, right? It always comes back to that.
Let's have a look. What are they going to go for here? This is big for NIP, of course, and it's going to be the Darkseer. Okay. And I like it, you know, in terms of the whole kind of, you know, vacuum into Crush from Slardar, the Requiem Souls, there is the potential for some big plays to come out from the side of NIP, but at the same time, there is also for Alliance. They've got the Black Hole, they've got the Death Ward, they're going to have the Bristleback running just havoc around these fights, and I think we're going to see another very active game between these two sides, Lumi.
Which draft do you like more? Just from a gut feeling, like Logic's toss out the table.
I feel NIP could do it with this lineup.
Okay.
I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some very special performances coming out from these guys, and I don't know, I think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be a very close matchup. For yourself?
Owen, I got to tell you a secret.
Okay.
I'm a Slaughter hater.
You're a Slaughter? Really?
I mean, I love playing him in pub games and whatnot.
But you just feel competitive level?
Like, look at him. He's got like little light thingy dang on his head. Like, it's not a... He always loses in pro games. Doesn't bring home the bacon.
Well, we'll see if that can win you over here, Lumius.
All right, we'll see.
They're going to be bringing their A game here, looking to draw this one out to a 3rd game if possible. And of course, if they lose this game, NIP, they will be out of the tournament, and Alliance will be proceeding to the next level. And well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of the best of 3, and Alliance versus NIP here with myself, ODPixel, and Lumi. And let's have a look what's going on the side of Alliance. You're going to be having Mad here on the Enigma. It's going to be Bulldog on his solo lane clock once again. Pycat on the mid lane, Leshrac. Ake on the Witch Doctor. And that's going to leave Loader, of course, on that position 1 Bristleback. Lumi, who are we seeing and what are we seeing from NIP?
All right, meanwhile, on the Dire side, we have Johannes Fan on the bottom side on the Darkseer. Looks like he's dropping a pretty deep board here. Back in the mid lane, Shadow Fiend being handled by Era. Is this a mid Shadow Fiend or safe lane Shadow Fiend? This looks like a mid Shadow Fiend to me. We have Wisp being handled by Handskin on the top part of the map. Limp playing that Starler. Last but not least is Seal Kid playing Bane.
Okay, I mean, they're switching around the roles, understandably so. I mean, we see Limp play heroes, you know, like the TA, like the Puck. He's the playmaker. He's on the kind of the same level as Jonathan Fan. He's going to be looking for a lot of the action, and Slardar, he's a perfect hero for that. If you can get a decent timing on the Blink Dagger, that is, you can certainly see why they put Limp on this hero this game.
Yeah, I did make the off comment the other day that I feel like Era is the Muji of the West, because he's been playing a lot of different heroes.
Yes.
Ranging from Pugna to Storm, now mid Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopters and things like that. We'll see how he's going to adjust to this particular game.
Indeed, looks like the lanes are selling up pretty much how we've expected. Both teams respectively keeping it as a safe lane for their cores, and they're going to leave just the solo off lanes on the off lanes this time. We're not going to see any kind of aggressive tri lanes coming out from either sides this matchup. And well, mid lane, it's going to be Arrow being helped out at the start here by Hanskin, just on the eye, trying to create some space. And as we said, the Shadow Fiend kind of needs that against a Leshrac early on.
Yeah, he kind of needs that against most of everybody.
Yeah.
His damage is not too great. I imagine Hanskin will disappear off to the jungle now to start stacking multiple camps.
Oh, I like bottom lane. I mean, Jonas Fan taking a lot of harassment there. He's prepared though. He's got the Salve and the Tangos, but even so, just showing that he's got to be careful against this Bristleback and Witch Doctor.
Yeah, even though it looks a little bit rough in the beginning, I think the lane will get a lot better. Once he gets Surge, he's pretty much unkillable at that point. And then once he gets level 2 Iron Shell, I think Loda will start having trouble dealing with him. Loda holding to that mango. And eats it now.
Just to keep those cool spray stacks up and trying to keep Jonas Fan as far back as possible. Clockwork, in terms of his offlane situation, Bulldog, he's having to deal up with the Bane and the Slardar. And do you feel this is quite a nice lane for Bulldog?
I mean, I think if Bulldog keeps his health constantly at like 90 to 100%, sure there is a nightmare.
Oh, look at this mid lane. Iris trying to go in very deep. He has got the regen from Hanskin. Ake trying to help out Pycat. No one's going to go down here, and both teams just going very, very action orientated on each other here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think Nip should be fine for now, given the fact that Wisp is getting these runes, he's stacking the jungle. This is going to be his second double stack. Let's see if he makes it. I think he mistimes it, so...
Let's see. He's going for it. He's so...
Alright.
No, not today.
I mean, it's a small thing, but that miss that cost him like 100 gold or so.
Indeed, it adds up. But 2 minutes in, still lane-wise, you know, in terms of the CS between the two. Shadow Fiend is getting a pretty good lead against Pycat, and the Eye has certainly helped out. But again, we've seen Pycat recover from some pretty bad lanes, so...
Yeah, and he's not having a bad lane at all.
No, it's not awful.
So you were asking how this top lane is going to work out.
Yeah.
I think, you know, you obviously worry about the Nightmare into the Crush initiation, but I think if you keep your health at 100%, you're generally not dying to that combo. Unless Lim gets a lucky bash, but he hasn't skilled bash, and I don't think he will skill the bash. Most Slaughter just maxes the stun as well as the sprint.
And one thing that's kind of impressive at the moment, Bulldog, he's getting the same amount of CS as the Darkseer, you know, from the offlane, which is quite something, as you'd expect the Darkseer to do so, but maybe there would have been the potential for the Bane to zone out the Clockwork a little bit more than there has been so far, and Clock's, you know, Bulldog's been fine.
Yeah. I think it speaks to the fact that Nip has sort of weak supports in the lane. They don't really threaten the kills, and that's why Emerald Bulldog could just willy-nilly walk in the lane and go for last hits, and Seal Kid coming around here. Threatening to harass, but I think he has to be careful. Emerald Bulldog is could kill. He has level 2 in battery assault.
Mid lane, you know, we're seeing Alliance. They really want to be there in case Aero tries to go aggressive with the backup of Io. Even Mad kind of moving away from the jungle there just to try and fend them off. But Mad at the moment is jungle. You know, it's been undisturbed. We haven't seen any kind of warding coming out to disrupt the Enigma's jungle, and he's having a grand old time at the moment, sitting halfway through level 4.
I do want to speak to the Wisp helping out in the mid lane though. Not only is he stacking for the Shadow Fiend, he's regenerating the Shadow Fiend definitely with the bottle. That allows Shadow Fiend to go boots first.
Yes. Which
Which is actually a great defensive item against a slow from Leshrac as well as a cast from Witch Doctor. As most normal Shadow Fiend would go bottle first if he does not have the babysitting.
Indeed, and well, we're talking about in the first game, when do you feel we're going to kind of see the action kick off? What is going to be the first movement from each of the sides? I mean, is it going to be Mad leaving the jungle, smoking up, or, I mean, are we going to be looking at NIP? Are they just going to be playing it a little bit more reserved until they find something like the Slardar, Blue Dragon? Well, he's actually going to go in here with a crush onto Bulldog. Bulldog will pop the battery assault, but there are 2 heroes here tanking it up. Can they bring down Bulldog? He's going to pop the cogs. He's actually going to bring Limp in even closer. He's trying to chase one down with a splint. Can he find this node with the battery assault? Many stuns, and Limp is going to be in trouble. Bulldog's salving up. He's trying to turn this one around. He's got the rocket flare, bring Limp though. The town is not up. The salve keeping him alive, 4 HP, and that's going to allow Lesnar to find first blood elsewhere as mid lane Pycat does take down the Io. But Lim keeping himself alive there, that horde only just thanks to that salve.
I mean, both teams were using salve, and Lim got a lucky stout kill proc because one of the creeps was hitting him then, but it's not over yet because Emerald Bulldog's got rockets. Does he have the spider sense?
Is he going to try for it?
I mean, he's got to try. Okay.
Oh,
Really, Bulldog?
Oh,
Come on.
Not today. Doesn't want to opt for
You
it.
you missed all the rockets don't shoot, man.
Indeed, but still, obviously, Alliance going to be happy with the fact that they did get the first burn. They got it for Pycat as well there in the mid lane.
So 2 games in a row, looks like Pycat's gonna be off to a great start. Well, last game he didn't have a great start, but he had a powerful mid game.
We certainly didn't. Looks like we're just going to have a quick break here so far. But still, lane-wise, in terms of the farm, you know, Shadowfiend Era, of course, on the mid lane. He's found 31 CS, and in terms of the stacks that have been created, you know, he's got the ability to take those down as well. So it's going to look all right for the Shadowfiend. I mean, look at the stacks that have been created. We've got them in a couple of camps at the moment, thanks to the IO. And Era, he's certainly got the potential to become very scary this game.
Yeah, they definitely know that Nip is stacking for the jungle, and frankly, I think they're fine with it. Because if you look at Enigma, he's having a grand time of his own. And Enigma, you were asking, you know, when is going to be that first point of action. Enigma could actually push the wave along with the siege creep. You eat their siege creep with your the mana conversion, you push along with your own siege creep, and you create a fairly decent sized push, like 6 or 7 minutes into the game. If they don't go for that, they could wait for level 6 on Clockwork. They have quite a bit of time before Nip can do anything. And then anything will start with a Blink Dagger on Slaughter or level 6 of their own on Wisp. And I don't think they're nearing either. So I think a majority of the early game is going to be in hands of Alliance.
I mean, look at, they know, of course, that these camps are being cleared, and they want to do something. Hansken, he's already very low, and well, he split up onto Era. The lightning that bounces towards Hansken. That's one. They're going to look for 2 as well as Bulldog moving in closer and closer. Can they catch Era here? Well, of course, with that incredibly small cooldown of the Lightning Storm, they will find him as well as they take down the Shadow Fiend, and Alliance just moving into the Dire Jungle at just the right time there.
Well, we saw Alliance really able to come back from a lot of pressure that NIP.
Oh. Yeah, and he's got a haste rune. He's going to chase down Ake here with the Iron Shell. Pycat's going to turn around there with a split up, and Ake just throwing her back a paralyzing cask. Well, the Youngster keep going for this one. He's bottling up. He's still got a good duration of the haste. Top lane, they've actually brought down the Clockwork, and well, NIP, they might find themselves a second kill here, going for Ake. But again, the split up, holding it back. No, he's going to continue. Youngster goes forward with the Iron Shell. They'll bring down Ake, and he might want to find Pycat as well. He's got the back of a Hansken. Limp's trying to move as well here on the Slardar. They're trying to close this gap. The vacuum doesn't catch him, but nonetheless, there, NIP, they do find themselves 2 kills off the back of Alliance.
It's great kill for the Darkseer, but he journeyed all the way from the bottom lane, and meanwhile, you know, Loda has uninterrupted farm. He's just hanging out. So I think it's good for both sides. Alliance, yeah, they lost the support. They're okay with it.
And how's Limp doing in terms of Godamo? So he went for the finished treads. He's got 500 at the moment. Would you expect him to just go straight for the blink now?
I think so. There are a couple of players that might opt for a smaller item first, maybe like drums or urn or something like that, but I think they are behind such that they just needed some way to fight themselves back into this game. And the fighting item is the Blink Dagger. Yeah,
Blink is going to be massive if they can get it. And well, top rune. It's going to be maybe a bit of a fight here. Bulldog, yeah, he's going to get nightmared up, and Era moving forward here with the black hole onto Era and onto Hansken. Bulldog and Ake going to work. They'll bring down the Iron. Pycat's coming as well. It's a double kill for Bulldog there, and Mad making sure that the first black hole of the game counts.
It's like casually walking in there without any vision of Nip. Just, black hole. Okay.
Oh, and that's indeed, I mean, Loda just heads up to get that bottom rune, and as you said, the farm's looking good for the Bristleback. But at the same time, you know, look over to the side of the Dire. Shadowfiend sitting on 3.5k net worth at the moment, only just slightly behind the Leshrac. And I kind of feel it's going to be that point when NIP get the items like the Blink on the Slardar. And, you know, Era, what's he deciding to build? Is he going for the mech? He is going for the mech. When they've got the mech and the Blink, that's going to be the go-to for NIP, and we're going to see if they're able to take these fights. Mid lane, they'll try and set something up here. Sealkid with a Nightmare onto Pycat, but it's going to be toggled off by Ake. Take him off of the team. He will pay for his life there. 6. They want to maybe try and turn this in. They will. Admiral Bulldog getting the timing, getting the hook shot onto Sealkid. They should be able to find 1 kill in return, and they will do indeed. And can they find anything more here? No, Pycat backs up to the high ground. He maybe wants to try and go for this, but no, he's only got the backup of Bulldog, and with the hook shot down, they won't find anything more. But a 1-for-1 trade there, Alliance making sure that they come out even.
Yeah, you were talking about the key item that Nip is looking for, and those items are kind of far apart or far away, and that's going to give Emerald Bulldog a ton of time to find these ganks. I think once the hook cooldown is ready, he's going to go for yet another kill and yet another kill. I think Nip supports, they don't really have a way to deal with this Clockwork that's running Rampage all over the map. You don't have, for example, a Rui that could lift him out of the cogs when he goes onto your course. So I think Emerald Bulldog, once again, just from the draft alone, will have a big game.
Indeed, I mean, in terms of the mech timing as well, you know, we're looking at Enigma working towards his Mad in comparison to Era, and even though Era might get it slightly before, and it's going to be close between the two sides, and we, you know, we're talking about the go time for NiP. Once Alliance have that mech online as well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them grouping up and looking to push. I mean, how's Loda doing in terms of his first big item? He's picked up the VIP booster here, and I imagine he will look to finish that off into the Vanguard, into the Crimson Guard. And again, the pushing power from Alliance is going to be quite something once they get these items online.
Yeah, normally I'm a big fan of Vanguard on Bristleback. Just something to be mentioned is that Lamiger Block is pretty ineffective against minus armor, and there's minus armor in spades from Shadowfiend as well as the Slaughter. So I think the Vanguard's great, but he needs to kind of transition into another item pretty quickly, whether it's the SMY, maybe upgrade his boots, for example. We'll see what Loda eventually ends up going for.
Indeed, well, both sides just kind of taking it easy at the moment, hanging back, trying to keep themselves up in terms of the farm game. And yeah, Mad, well, he's pretty much got enough here for that mechanism. And well, the Innocent Fan heading towards the bottom. How's he doing in terms of the item build? I mean, for the Darkseer, with the fact that you've got the Shadowfiend building the mech, what does the Darkseer go for as the first item in this game for the team?
I think the last time we seen the Darkseer was able to have a great start, he went pipe for his team to push.
Okay.
But this is not that type of game, right?
No.
There's no pushing going on for NiP.
Did you get a blink yourself first?
Let me ponder that for a bit, because Darkseer is one of those heroes that could pretty much get away with a ton of different items.
Yes.
Blink and BKB being the Team 5 variant. But this game, it feels like Alliance could strike in multiple ways. They definitely have the Team 5 with the Black Hole and the Death Ward and the Hook Initiation. At the same time, they're great ganking as well. So, I honestly don't know. We'll see what he actually ends up going for.
I just have a quick pause here, but this is going to be interesting. We're seeing, obviously, Alliance looking for some action, and both teams actually picking up the mech at pretty much the same time here. They're both going to have it for the next fight, and we're going to see who comes out and top them. We're also going to see if Alliance are actually able to catch anyone out here. I mean, obviously notable, Limp needs to be careful as well. Sitting on 1900 gold, it's going to be pretty big if they can take him down now. It's going to slow down that blink just that little bit more, because Limp, he's so close to it.
Yeah, he feels safe because he has a lane ward, but it's a trap because they're smoked up.
It certainly is. I mean, the question is, could they get the TP reactions in time? Who's actually got a TP available? Era's not got one on the SF. It's still on cooldown for the IO. Does have relocate if he wants to try and look for a play to help him. Seal Kid hasn't got one. Yonison Fan does. Well, this is the question. Does Limp get caught out here? 3 heroes.
They have relocate, so that's something that Alliance has to be really careful about. If you relocate, the shot is going to hit. Are they going to relocate for him? That's a question. Limp, he's going to get 1 TP, but he's just dying way too quick, and NiP doesn't want to relocate into a black hole because that could be pretty bad.
Indeed, and well, with that kill, he loses about 200 gold as well, going back down to the 1700s. So that blink being held back, and well, off the back of that, with the fact that they've got this Enigma up here, Alliance, they should look to take this, and they'll almost certainly get away with it, getting themselves a tier 1 from the side of NIP. But NIP, they're looking for a push themselves here in the mid lane. Pycat trying to do his best to stop it, but Era, he's going to stand his ground. Of course, he's got that mech. He's fairly tanky now and ready for this, and Loda's actually leading in, maybe seeing if he can kick something off here. He's out of mana. He's got a few bolt charges to continue to fight, and they're going in on Era. They're going to have to relocate, though, bring him back up to the high ground. And the question is, do they continue to fight off the back of this Alliance? They're getting ready. There is a black hole available on Madden. Well, the question is if we can do something big with this one, but Alliance, yeah, looks like they realized that RP really wanted to fight off the back of that, and they don't actually go for the IO on the relocate. And they do get the Don Eye there, though, on the middle tower, as well as Bulldog just continuing to farm here on the top lane.
Yeah, something that we didn't really talk about during the draft is that Enigma is really good against those ganking reloads. It's just a telegraphed, easy black hole spot. So if NiP is not aware where that Enigma is, they can't really just use that relocate willy-nilly. Suddenly it could be a 2-3 man black hole and the gank comes around.
Well, let's see if Limp can find that blink. He's found himself a bit more safety here in the top lane now that the lane's pushed in. Kind of working for him here in the sense that he can farm a little bit closer to home. And well, just 100 gold to go. Yeah, he's going to have the blink ready this time. And for the next fight, we're going to see the blink on him. Of course, we're seeing the mech on Era as well on the Shadowfiend. And NIP, they're going to be in a much better position to look for the clashes with Alliance.
Yeah. The Crimson Guard is going to get upgraded by Loda, and the armor aspect of Crimson Guard is excellent. because like we said, he needs as much armor as he could get on the front line. Tier 1 tower is going to get brought down without too much of a fight. I imagine the action is going to pick now. The Blink Dagger is online on Limp.
There we go. They want to use it straight away. Limp making a beeline towards the mid lane. And the question is, does anyone from the side of Alliance come out for this? And well, without the tier 1 there, it's already been taken down. I don't think they do. And up here, they're going to smoke up. They realize they're going to have to go a little bit deeper if they want to try and find a fight. And Alliance themselves, they're keeping close together. Going to be ready to try and fight back if NIP decide to jump on it. Well, Dealkid is going to find Loader now, jumping straight in here with the Blink Dagger. They're trying to do what they can with the cast because we've already thrown out. Ake here for the sidelines with the Death Ward, bringing Limp fairly low. And now Pycat trying to find the split earth. It's not going to latch onto Limp as he's able to sprint away. And of course, with his Blink, maybe he goes back in for more. He's got a couple of quill sprays stacked already on him, but Hans kept backing him up. It's going to mean they can continue to fight. Matt's going to get taken down here. That's going to be the first kill. There's going to be a buyback from Enigma. Now Era here with the Requiem of Souls, bringing Bulldog down low, but Namek comes out in time from Matt as he returns to the fight. And now, with a Black Hole, it's only going to be onto one, but it will secure them the kill onto the Bane. Now, Load on the front of this fight. He's keeping the Quill Spray stacks up on Air and everyone else, but he blinks back in. He wants to try and fight this one as they continue to bring them low, but the Voodoo Restoration is keeping Pycat only just alive. It looks like our Alliance are going to be okay for the time being. Matt, he's on the front of it, taking the brunt of the attack from Era. But it looks like NIP can't find it. Oh, maybe they can. Blinking onto. They really want to find this Loader. He's fairly tanky. Is he tanky enough? The heals from Ake. He's got 2 points of the Voodoo Restoration, and it looks like it's all that's needed at the moment, keeping Loader alive. He's able to get himself back up to the high ground. And Mad, does he want to? I don't know if he wants to try and go back into that one, but still, nonetheless, it is just a 1-for-1 with Mad buying back. And I've got to say, that buyback from the Enigma pretty much ensured there with the mech and everything else that ARP didn't find anything more from that fight.
Yeah, even if the Black Hole only caught one, the buyback was very much so necessary. If they didn't have the buyback, like you said, the person that he didn't mech would die. Very well played by Nip. They had a good sense of what they can't dive into and what they can. The Slaughter blinking in multiple times, yet retreating very quickly as they felt the team fight was not going their way. And if Nip continue to fight the way that they've been fighting, it's going to be their mid game. The question is, what are they doing with the smoke? Are they trying to sneak Roche? This is, I'm not sure. Well, Black Hole is down. Black Hole is down. But they do have the scouting. Are they going to just wait out this rocket and immediately start Roshan?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, after they've scouted Alliance, they feel safe, and they're actually going to look for a fight in the dire jungle. They've got no idea that NIP made this movement here, and NIP they're going to go to work, and of course with Limp, with the Amplify error, it's just the 1 point in the presence of the Dark Lord, but it's still going to help out with the amount of physical damage coming out. They should be able to get this, but they might lose the Darkseer as Jonas and Fan getting caught out in the top lane will get taken down. So they lose the Darkseer, but they will find the Roshan almost certainly here. I mean, Alliance, they're going to stick around here on the top lane. They're not going to look to head down there. So losing the Darkseer, getting the Roshan and the Aegis, do you think NRP will be happy with that one?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think, well, actually, I think it's pretty important that they have Aegis on the Shadow Fiend, because he's definitely the most important target for Alliance.
Yeah.
Him having Requiem Souls out to reduce the damage output of Alliance is pretty big. Sorry, what did I call it before?
Oh, something crazy, Limbs.
Sonic Requiem of Black Souls. Oh, yeah. Anyways, it's a Vanguard on Darkseid. What do you think about this? It's definitely not the most standard of item choice.
Well, I guess so. There's a fair bit of physical damage that you can block out, and with the amount of fights that are going on, you know, maybe it will allow Jonas and Fan to ensure that he can stay alive for long enough to get out the combo. I mean, at level 9, he's still yet to skill the wall, but obviously once we see him hit 10 and 11, he will have that one available for the team fights as well. But 94 at the moment. In terms of the grass, what kind of difference are we seeing? It's a 5k in terms of net worth and 3k in terms of XP, so it's not too massive, but at the same time, you know, Alliance, they are certainly playing from ahead at this point.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that he didn't upgrade into Arcane Boots, the Darkseer, because his mana pool is actually very small, and judging from how these fights are going, they're going to last quite a while. And I think the sustaining part of him is going to be an issue. And I'm sure heroes like Shadow Fiend and Slaughter would not mind the extra mana being granted by the Arcane, but he wants to rush for the Vanguard, and I imagine he probably will go into the Crimson Guard as well for more fight. It's a very strange game, because on one side Nip has the Slaughter, they have to relocate, they have to blink, but they've only fought once. They secure the Roshan. It seems like Nip is more comfortable going into more of a farming game.
I mean, yeah, we haven't really seen that many offensive relocates at all. They're certainly kind of using it as more of a defensive mechanism, and just for kind of just keeping the team alive when the rest of NIP looked to fight. Well, they were looking for Loda there, but Loda's able to get himself away speedily enough on that bristleback. And
I think also a key item to look for either of the two Nip core is to go for Silver Edge.
Okay.
I mean, you gotta break that bristleback.
Yeah, Silver Edge would be an interesting pickup. And well, talking about pickups, how's Era doing on his BKB? He was very close to the recipe a second ago, and yeah, he has got the recipe that he can get sent out to him. And that's going to be fairly good, of course, against that Leshrac in these fights, but there's a fair bit on the
relocate. It's going to go on the middle of the map right now. Is it into the black hole? That's the question right now. Mad trying to run away, but there's an offensive Yules being used. Stun will hit on Era, who does not have the BKB delivery yet. And there's that offensive relocate not working out, but here comes the hook from Ammo Bulldog, and suddenly, in fact, him out here from Johannes fan, but he is still trapped in there, and Alliance will pick up a kill. Unfortunately, from Alliance, they can't get too many map objectives out of this. It's just a kill.
No. I mean, still, yeah, 10-4 and killing it. Next time, you know, Era will have that BKB on him now. It's all being delivered. And Aaron Hanscan just looking to take the most of this open lane at the top, getting some damage down off the tier 1 on the top lane. But Loda with a double damage bottled up. Io popping an Invis rune. Maybe they can try and go for something. Here we go again with the Yule setup on Era. He has got that BKB, but he's going to need to try and get it off if he wants to try and turn and fight this one. He's turning around with the punches onto Pycat. Loda, he's making a beeline straight for Hansken here, trying to bring down the Io, and now Mad going forward. They should be able to find the Io, and they certainly will do there as the ball pops, and Loda gets himself the kill. And it will just be that for the time being, as Era is able to get himself out to safety.
Bottom lane.
He's down to bottom. Just set Fiend script, setting up the Limp going in, going ham, and well, he'll get the kill onto Bulldog there as well. So more money for Limp, and that's going to help him towards a BKB of his own.
Or is it a BKB?
Silver Edge?
Yeah, I think BKB is a much safer choice and a choice that Limp will end up going, but again, I do want to mention that Silver Edge is a straight up counter to that bristleback until he gets his own BKB, which Loda is working on right now.
Okay, he's actually going to get the slow here, and well, Limp back in for a bit of CS. Maybe his groove will cost him. He's got the backup of Sealkin, and still the post over. There's going to be a relocate as well, and well, NRP, they want to turn this. Oh, the physical damage!
Where did he go?
Blowing up Pycat and Ake and Loda. They're like, well, we probably don't want to stick around for this one. And then Limp, he's going in, he's going for more. He'll be able to bash down Ake. Loda trying to do what he can, but the wall's being dropped here by NIP. Bulldog's turning up to the fight. Era popping the BKB, trying to get the punches onto Loda. Bulldog will hook shot onto Limp, trapping him here under the tower. Limp trying to do what he can with the battery assault, making it very hard for the Slardar to fight. He does manage to sprint himself away. And now it's Era in trouble, man. Going forward here. Trying to turn it, but the mini stuns there holding him back, and Sealkid will be able to control Loda here with the Enfeeble.
And still got that black hole. He's holding into it. He doesn't want to just black hole the solo Shadow Fiends. He's got Aegis, but he's going to blink forward. No! Aegis expires! He's going to black hole him now! Great patience from effing Mad. Gets a very important kill on a normally immortal Shadow Fiend with BKB mech.
And that was a big kill at the end of that fight, but still, I mean, NIP, they did find something from it. We saw Limp go in, and he went in hard, and he was able to find a lot, and in terms of the money towards his BKB as well, on top of the Ogre Club, 2k now.
Mid lane, can Pyka get the Yules off? Looks like not. What do you think about the Yules choice in Leshrac? It's definitely, I think that...
doing a lot.
Yeah, it's letting them initiate when they don't really have the best initiator. Clockwork is not, I mean, he's a great initiator, but he's not finding the hooks. And of course, Blink Dagger on Enigma is also a great initiator, but he doesn't want to kind of be the first one in. So this is a very non-committal way to pick up an enemy, land a stun, and go from there.
It's certainly working quite well for them so far. And yeah, Lesh is going to go, of course, for the Bloodstone after the Yours. Are we seeing anything else coming out fairly big from either side? I mean, Bane's got 1,200 gold towards that Blink, and well, that's going to be Mad finishing off the Guardian Greaves this game, Luna.
The Guardian Greaves being able to dispel that that amplified damage on him, which is nice, but honestly, that's pretty much all it's doing. Is there anything else that's big?
I guess it's just the aura as well for the fights, you know, the extra arm, the extra HP regen.
It's great for Bristleback because he's constantly at low health, and it gives what, plus 15 armor when he's low.
And 15 HP, but yeah, it's pretty tasty. I mean, it costs a bit, but you got to be honest, Mad's been pretty with this game. He's been finding a lot. And well, it's 12-7 at the moment. In terms of the graphs, they're still kind of hanging around that 4K. You know, Alliance are yet to break ahead even more. NIP are keeping control of them. And it's kind of just down to, whether Limp can find these initiations and whether Era can find himself in the position to get the damage out. And Alliance, they want to fight. They smoke up, heading into the jungle. Mad, he hasn't got the black hole, but with all the other tools that Alliance have got at their disposal, I don't think they really care. They can still quite easily fight.
Nip needs to be
Asken.
I mean, I think this is going to be a defensive relocate back out. But no, they're going to go right on the Wisp first. Great play. No more defensive relocate. Era trying to fight. No, he's going to just BKB TP. So I think the end result was the same, but they got a BKB out of that Shadow Fiend. And that was a nice BKB. So pretty big pickup there.
And with the BKB on cooldown, maybe they want to try and push and force NIP to fight again. They've got 3 heroes here on the side of Alliance, focusing on getting this momentum going. I'm just going to head back towards the mid lane where we do have Darkseid and some fan trying to get a push on of his own. Now, once CP's going to come out from Bulldog, he's got a hook shot available here. There's a ward, of course, spotting this one out, but he's not going to go for it this time, and he's just going to keep himself out of the fight.
Darkseid is going to be going for that full staff, which is, again, a great pickup against the clock. And, you know, if somebody gets Yules and then stun, you can force them out as well.
And what's that coming out here for Limp? Okay, yeah, so he opts for the BKB this game. We're not
a safe choice.
It is indeed.
Nip gets illusion baited once again.
I mean, I've got to be honest, this game, I kind of feel NRP in a much better position than they were in game 1 in terms of the ability to turn it.
They are, but I feel like Nip's lineup is very mid-game based. Because I think Slardar is one of those heroes that could fall off, and the way that Shadow Fiend's being built, he's built a lot of defensive items, so his damage is going to be pretty lackluster for the next 10 to 15 minutes until he picks up some hard-hitting items. So I feel like this is where Alliance could really go hard and punish them with things like Black Hole, Clockwork picking up some key items, and if you look towards Bristleback, he opted for the BKB to start with, and then he went back for the plate mail, feeling that he needs a little bit more armor.
Okay, indeed, interesting to see what he decides to end up with there. Who's that second Ogre Club coming out for? He's coming out from Mad, yeah. He's going to look to try and find a BKB for himself on the Enigma. And, well, okay, they might find him here. Limp's coming in, will blink straight onto Loader. There's going to be a relocate coming in as well. And NIP, they're ready to go Requiem into the face of the Bristleback. They'll find Loader here. Can they find anything more? Jonas fan forcing himself forward. Won't find the vacuum until he gets held back by the Yules from Pycat. But hey, nonetheless, take it down Loader. That's a big kill for the side of NIP.
Yeah, Bulldog missed his hook on Sealkid, who's just standing there. But I think it's a good thing that he missed, because if he went in, I think Loader would have still died, and Bulldog would have died right along.
Oh, this is good as well for NIP. If they can take down Loader and use this window of opportunity to bring down Rochelle, this is going to be very nice for the Dire.
And they'll bring it down very quickly. Hook is on cooldown. The only thing that Lions got really for this is a blink Black Hole. Let's see how well Mad could play.
He's moving in. They're all ready to try and catch this one. I think NIP realized that it's a little bit risky to hang around for this one. Mad, he's trying to find the position, but Limp, he wants to go in first. Maybe they can see if they can catch out Alliance before Alliance catch them out. And NIP, they're going to go back in
I don't think they can. It's just way too dangerous. But they're going to go for it. Black Hole is available.
Good shot. They can see this with the rocket flare. Do they want to go? Nah, they're just going to let this one go. And they will get the Aegis there, NIP onto Era.
Yeah, great position. Sealkid essentially was playing like the Secret Service. He's standing around the Roshan pits like, alright, hook in. Right there. You'll get me instead. So Nip gets the Aegis. Although the last one didn't really do too much for them. In fact, I think the last one baited them because they're like, alright, we got Aegis, let's go fight. But effing Mad waited out the Aegis. That was still a spectacular play in my opinion.
Indeed. And, well, the fact that, you know, NIP, they've still got the Shadow Fiend at the top of the board. I mean, you look at Era's farm and pretty impressive. 13.3k. You know, he's over 2,000 ahead of the Leshrac from the side of Alliance, and he opts for the S&Y this game, Lumi.
Yeah, it's a great mid-game item, and you know, their mid-game team gives you a ton of damage, movement speed. And honestly, this is a fine game later on if you want to break it into Manta plus Silver Edge.
Yes, yeah, I guess there's
if
always
it's a long-term consideration, but for now, it's a great mid-game S&Y. But I think Nib is just looking for picks. They're playing in a similar position where Alliance was in last game, where they have the more mobile lineup, they have the better ganking lineup. Alliance, I think they're just looking to farm up. Leshrac wants that item, and Bristleback wants that AC.
Well, NIP, they're just going to try and take this tier 2 down from the bottom. Alliance hang around the mid. Limp, He's actually wrapping around here, maybe seeing if they can do anything. They're going to spot out Bulldog, and here we go, straight in with the blink. They've got the amplifier as well. The damage is flying through with Brain Tap, bringing him low. Bulldog trying to get the hook shot onto Ake. Bulldog's going to be able to keep himself alive. Seal Kid, he's chasing these ones down. Maybe he can try and catch someone out with the Phoenix Grip or with the Nightmare. He's moving in. It is just Ake and Bulldog here at the moment on this top lane. Ping's coming out, in fact, onto Mad. They need him to back up. They need him to help. The tier 1 is still here, and that's going to mean that Alliance, they can TP in, and this maybe might not be the fight for NIP. Era bringing Ake low, and he will be able to find the Witch Doctor. Loda has turned up to the fight, though. Silk is going to get chucked up, and now your Black Hole onto the rest of NIP by the tower, catching Limp out. Limp will go down. Man is able to get the wall, and Era actually finding a double kill. Era's just cleaning up house. The moment he's going to try and fight into Loda, and now we Unison found a Silk moving in as well. This is a great fight for NIP, and if they can find the Bristleback, this is going to be huge. Handscared turning up as well, keeping Era topped up. They're going for Loda. He's fairly tanky. He's just trying to turn him, maybe even find the eye. Handscared's going to get surged away. He's going to be able to keep the distance. Era coming through with the raises, doing what he can against Loda. Loda trying to walk this one off. Bulldog, he has got a hook shot. He should be able to save Loda if necessary. And
he's got force staff too.
Yeah.
He can use it right now. The cause is available. So, in fact, he hooks back in. He finds two. I'm not sure if he wants to fight this. The blame out being activated. Era in a lot of trouble. He still has Aegis. Meanwhile, Loda still wants to look for more. They have Surge available. They have Vacuum. Vacuum onto the high ground. Think about your mistakes, Loda. Chill on the high ground.
And indeed, he's going to have to chill there for a bit by the looks of that. And that was a very, very nice fight overall over the... It's quite a long one, but NIP, they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, the Black Hole was excellent. Unfortunately, Leshrac was not there to deal the damage. Leshrac was kind of trapped between 3 NIP heroes, and he just got blown up. This is not the normal Leshrac games where we see, the Bloodstone first into a BKB where he's just immortal in the middle of the fights. This is a Leshrac that's kind of dancing around, not being able to survive long enough to do damage. He's forced to go things like defensive Yules, defensive Ghost Scepters, and imagine the defensive BKB has to come out next as well.
And Lumi, you're going to be happy about this, because if you look over at Era, he has now got the recipe and the amulet for his Silver Edge. So he is indeed going to disassemble that S&Y and look to get that, and he's got it. So in these next fights, as you said, Bristleback is going to be increasingly squishier.
Yeah. I mean, the next fight, I imagine he's going to finish the AC for Loda, and BKB has to come out. So once the BKB's out, you have that interesting dance of, are you going to Silver Edge him first? Or are you going to wait for him to BKB first? Hold that dot. Slaughter initiating on the right side. Relocate coming in as well. And that Leshrac dies. It seems like Leshrac, at least in this series, is just not having a good time. Those Bloodstone is dwindling quite rapidly.
He wants more. Look at this. Blinking forward very aggressively, trying to find something from the jungle. He's going to spot out Maddie, but Maddie, he's going to be able to blink away. And NIP aren't going to be able to catch anyone else out on the side of Alliance here. But still, as you're saying, being happy with that kill. And Seal Kid with the Shadow Amulet, moving the money for the cloak. He's going to be having the Glimmer Cape online fairly shortly.
Yeah, the big difference in this game for Alliance is, despite having a Clockwork, they really need a secondary follow-up initiator to go with the Clock. Clock could hook in, and we saw that from the River fight. But really, who has that mobility to go in alongside to deal the damage? It's not Leshrac, because he's kind of dying. It's not Bristleback. So I felt like they need something like a Storm or a Queen of Pain that could blink in and follow up with a Sonic Wave or some click damage. Right now, this Clockwork, despite Bulldog playing it very well, just not having the impact that he needs to have for his team.
Still, Era just getting larger and larger here with now 5,000 difference. And look at the swing as well. We saw Alliance maintain a kind of steady lead, but after those last two fights, it's just skyrocketed back down into the favor of NIP. And suddenly, it's Alliance playing from behind.
Yeah. Now, normally you say, looking at how the game goes, all right, NMP is control the map, they're going to keep getting Roshan, and the game is eventually going to starve out Alliance. But Alliance got an excellent Roshan squad, so NMP's got to think twice before walking in there confidently. We still haven't seen that black hole from effing Mad, the game-turning black hole. Will he find it? That's the question. He's working on his own BKB.
We're seeing a Blink Dagger come out for Unison now on the Darkseer, and Loda has got the AC complete. And now, I kind of feel Loda is one of the biggest issues for NIP. I mean, we saw in that last fight, they just couldn't kill him. I mean, they put him on a cliff, but they just could not kill the Bristleback. Now he's got an AC as well. They're going to have to commit so much to taking down Loda. They do have that Silver Edge, though, which is going to kind of be their saving grace to a certain point, but still, this Bristleback's going to have the potential to cause absolute havoc in the 5-on-5 engagements.
The question is, do they need to kill him?
I guess that's the thing, yeah.
Can you leave him? I mean, yeah, he's going to hurt a bit. He's going to whack your supports around, but I feel like right now Nip kills the Alliance heroes much quicker. And at the end, you're going to have that Bristleback. Sure, he's kind of immortal, but he's also not killing your team. And also helps the fact that Wisp just picked up the Vlads. So that's +5 armor.
Oh, wow.
Excellent against the Quill Spray damage. That's going to be peppered up by Loda.
And of course, it's going to be very nice for these right-clickers to fight as well on the side of NIP. And well, Pycat doing what he can here with the Lightning Storm still. No one looking to jump in as of yet. Bulldog possibly walking towards. He's going for that Aghanims again after the 4 stuff. But he's got a fair bit to go before he gets that one online. And I mean, in your perspective, is there a side that's going to be more hungry for fighting at this point, a little bit too scared of letting the game go late, or are they both going to be happy just kind of taking it easy and just farming up on their cores now?
I personally don't think Slardar is a great late game hero.
Okay.
Simply because there's going to be a point in the game where supports could pick up multiple 4 staffs to start kiting him. With that said, if you look over to the line support, Witch Doctor is poor. I mean, he's gone for the point booster.
Oh, Bulldog wants to fight. Hook's running onto Sealkid. Sealkid will be able to get himself out, of course, with that complete Glimmer Cape is working here. There's going to be a relocating from the side of NIP. They want to continue this one. Alliance, they're all grouped up, and now they actually try to get themselves out of this. Limbs pop the BKB. Can he chase anyone down? Admiral Bulldog's going to get 4 staff down to the low ground. He's going to be okay. And that might be Alliance looking to reinitiate. They do, of course, have this Black Hole Sealkid. He's going to look for the TP, and well, he's going to make it. The Sentry Ward just popped. Not quite in time. The TP was already there. And looks like, even though a lot of things being thrown out, the fight not really going to connect, and both teams keeping themselves out of harm's way. Yeah,
to answer your question previously, I think both team has their own way of approaching the late game. Alliance, for example, you have Enigma Refresher. That's definitely a very powerful late game. A 6 slot of the Shrek is nothing to joke about. And a Clockwork that gives Hook every 10 seconds with Aghanims is also very annoying. At the same time, Nip on the other side, the core is... Nope. Hook's going to go in, and looks like Fly might be in a little bit of trouble. He does have BKB, but he's fighting essentially everybody now.
Era's trying to go for this, but now Mad with the Black Hole. It's going to answer though by the vacuum, and now they're put it with a crush. Era doing so much damage in this fight with the races and everything. Pycat's still alive. He will finally drop. Ake pops down the death ward. It doesn't matter as Era cleans him up as well. There's going to be a buyback for Lesh. There's going to be the Nightmare holding back Loda, and they're doing exactly what they said. You said, Luma. They're trying to fight around Loda. They're killing everyone else. They take down Mad here. Bulldog's return. But I mean, the NIP, they take down 2, they force out a buyback, and they're just going to surge themselves out and try and get themselves away from this one. And yeah, I mean, they just try and ignore the Bristleback, and it allows them to get 3 for 1 trade, favoring them pretty heavily in there in terms of XP gold.
Unfortunately, there's very little Loda could do about it, right? Like, he understands that he needs to run in and cause as much havoc as possible, but it's very easy for Nip to just... Nightmare. Yeah, you're kind of stuck there for a long time until you get that BKB. So, checking on the BKB, he's got that Mythril Hammer for like ages. Not Mythril Hammer, the Ogre Club. Yeah. So he's essentially just like 1,100 go away. Should he want that BKB?
And I got the timing of these fights as well for NIP have been very nice in terms of relation to Roche.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to have the opportunity to look for it in Alliance. They're down Enigma for 10 seconds. He doesn't have the Black Hole anyway. The question is, do NIP, do they want to stick around for this one and commit to the Roshan? Loda trying to do his best to keep them just a little bit scared, a little bit frosty. Pycat moving in as well, maybe seeing if he can find a yours. Bulldog has got the hook shot in on the high ground. Pings are coming out into Handscare. Looks like they want to deal with the IO first. And
Nip is fine delaying this, because look at top lane, Dark Series just sieging this tier 2 tower. They'll get it for free. He has Breach of Travel, so he'll be able to join the fight pretty easily. In fact, he's going to TP in right now.
And there we go, both sides, they're hungry for it, they're hungry for a bit of action. Everything is online apart from the Black Hole and the Fiend's Grip. Fiend's Grip is going to be back in a couple of seconds, so NIP, they're ready to go.
Smoke wraparound. Let's see if they're going to find anybody. Sealkid's going to lead the charge. He's got the Glimmer Cape, so you know he's fine. The rest of the team very close by. If they could pick off the Enigma before the fight happens, or the Leshrac, that could be huge.
I think Alliance realized something sneaky might be going on. No one's come out in ward vision towards the spot, but Loda's might get caught out here. That's going to mess up the blink, because the Quill Sprays cancel the blink. He won't find the stun onto Loda. Loda there, popping the Crimson Guard, and now Alliance, do they want to try and fight, or do they want to try and run? NIP popping the BKBs, and now Loda, he's sticking around in the midst of it all. He's trying to do what he can. Pycat is going to be the target here of the Fiend's Grip from Sealkid. Matt's moving in, trying to find the Midnight, just trying to get anything raining down, but the wall's coming out from NIP. They've already lost one on the side of Alliance. Error being hailed up by Hansken. It's looking great for NIP. They've found two. Limp trying to chase down Loader. Loader now on the run. And now with the re-relocate, it's only a small one, but they're just trying to close the gap here on the still back. They want to kill Loader this time. They want to find him. Jonas and Fan might find Mad. Hey, there's going to be Sealkid there with the brain sap, and they did end up finding a Loader. 4 heroes dropping on Alliance, and what a fight there for NIP.
Yeah, now NIP go for the safe play, which is straight into the Roshan pit.
Yeah.
There's an argument that you could start sieging the tier 3 on the bottom lane. The creep wave is already there, but no, they're going to go for the safe play because this one's Aegis and Cheese. And you can see that Alliance is already having trouble taking these team fights. With that said, that wasn't BKB Loader. That wasn't Black Hole on nothing mad. So that wasn't Alliance at their full strength. They got smoke ganked from behind. So I think Alliance fans out there, don't fret. That wasn't Alliance at the full strength, but it's not looking good for Alliance.
I mean, nonetheless, just credit to NIP there for being able to just take advantage of that window where they knew the Alliance weren't going to have those abilities available. Thanks to that, Butterfly is now going to be complete on Aaron.
Jeez,
this Shadow
so
Fiend is
big.
so big. So big. I mean, 20,000 net worth. The closest on the side of Alliance is Loader on 14k, but it's a massive difference in Error. He's just walking in on his own. He wants to try and find some solo action, and Ake. Is he? He's. No, okay, Error just reveals himself, and Ake just TP's back to base, saying, nope, I don't want caught around this Shadow Fiend. And well, can they do anything about this, Error? He's got an Aegis.
No, yeah, he's so confident on the front line. He's just, hitting tower, and the Stray War scouts out. Clockwork. Is he dead?
I think he is. He is so dead with Limp going in, and that's going to be a clean kill there for the side of NIP, and that is Bulldog down for 48 seconds, and he does not have the money for buyback if they decide to push NIP.
Now Alliance has to hold. Now, pushing up against high ground against Black Hole and Leshrac is pretty scary. Who has the cheese, by the way? Does the West have it? No, it looks like it's going to be on the Slaughter. Who, by the way, has AC, so... something that LD says is AC as well as Vlad's is kind of an arms race. If they have one, you kind of have to have one yourself to equalize things, and it seems like both team is doing that. I don't think Alliance have a Vlad's yet.
Oh, there we go. And IP, they are so ready to go for high ground. It's going to be a hard one, though. They know that the Black Hole's back and available. And, well, almost going to be back in the game in another 10 seconds, so maybe this isn't the time. And NIP, they're going to be content at just backing off and kind of waiting until going in for round 2. And yeah, in terms of the graphs now, we are really seeing a very sizable lead coming out. I mean, it's over 15,000 now in terms of net worth for NIP.
Right. And, if you look over to the supports on NIP, who are these kids, Is it Seal Kids? Because he has way too many items.
They're doing very well this game.
They got Blink and Glimmercake. Obviously, when you're doing well, your supports also do well, but I do want to say that they are getting quite a bit of farm, despite how well they're doing.
Yeah, the supports have been playing very well this game on the side of NIP and enabling a lot of this action to kick off. And I think is that with a completed Glimmercape now as well. It is indeed. Got the cloak on him, so that's going to be another Glimmercape here for the side of NIP to.
Who has one?
For the IO now, as well as the Bane for NIP.
Wow.
So they've got a couple for the team fights.
Oh, it's starting to look more and more like...
Look at this relocate. Loader, he's on his own. Error coming in with Handscan. Can they do what they can here? Well, they're going in with the Silver Edge debuff. He hasn't got the Bristleback. He has got the Crimson Guard, though. And he, of course, is still fairly tanky. Limp looking forward onto Pycat. Man, he's trying to shout this way. He's got the Black Hole available. Looking for the perfect opportunity to use it. Sealkin is going to Nightmare at Bulldog now with the Fiend's Grip onto Loader. Error's trying to go to work here onto the Mad. Pycat, he finds the Split Earth onto Error, controlling him. But Error, of course, he's just going to continue punching. Ooh. He's got the Aegis. There's going to be the wall drop, catching Bulldog and Ake. Bulldog's going to drop. Ake just drops sitting here in the wall as the Bulldog illusion going to work on him. Take down Ake as well as now Jonas found on a killing spree. Error coming back for round 2 after the Aegis is popped. Limp getting the crush onto Loader. They're looking for the Bristleback and they should be able to find it. Everyone's chasing them down. Matt, he's in the tree lines. He's going to be in a lot of trouble as well if they look for him. It's going to be 3 kills there for the side of NIP. Maybe more. Pycat will use himself, but he's probably only going to prolong the inevitable as the damage flowing from Error. He's got the Ghost Scepter. It might be enough to keep him alive as Pycat backed off and, well, Maddie's jumped in, but he ends up throwing his life away. Godlike streak for Error. Killing spree as Limp picks up a double kill, and now NIP, they've got the base to themselves. There's no one on the side of Alliance up, and Alliance, they're definitely going to lose at least a set of racks here, and maybe even more, Lumi.
I mean, this is some of the best positioning I've seen from Nip playing. They know they have around the black hole. They know how to play around the cogs, and they've
Yeah.
done it splendidly. Shadow Fiend being so fat, he could just kind of run in. And right now they have so much time. They're not worried about clumping up now, given the fact that the Enigma's dead. That's going to be 2 lanes of Rex and possibly 3. Buyback being forced out.
Oh, Limpy just jumped straight in onto Pycat. Pycat evaporates and GG is called. I mean, when you less dice to a couple of bashes like that, you can't stay in the game. What a performance from NIP and Lumi. This is the first series. We're going to be going to a game 3, and what a series it's been so far between NIP and Alliance.
I'm happy to eat the words on the Slardar. He may look silly, but he's a damn strong hero. I mean, how many times did he just delete the Leshrac from the map?